A married CEO got caught cheating on live TV at a Coldplay concert. And what his wife did next made her an instant hero to millions of women. But the other woman?
So, you know, sometimes you do stuff and you think you're gonna just go have a good time.
Globe. Now, we've now learned that the technology company Astronomer has announced that its CEO, Andy Byron, seen here, as you saw, embracing a woman who is not his wife, has resigned from the company.
This is the messiest public downfall of the year, and the revenge story that every betrayed wife wishes they could pull off.
What was that about? And, you know, that seems like you don't really care who's at the concert.
I mean, you've seen this video, right?
1,000 times.
Yes, I think everyone has seen it. It was the kiss cam video seen around the world.
People from your job could have been there, all kinds of, but he is now the former CEO of Data Company.
Went viral pretty immediately, and so did versions mocking the moment, such as the Philly fanatic getting caught there on the kiss cam.
In the bed.
But
Someone's gotta be.
She is the company police. She's supposed to be telling people what to do, what not to do.
Another mascot during a recent Phillies game, you see, turning away from the camera, just like the former CEO and the head of.
They are literally there to, I mean, beyond the affair.
It has now cost the two people on it their jobs. Kristin Cabot resigning from her position as head of human resources for Astronomer.
So much. I have been watching it like if it was porn, over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I also think it's, you know, it's the power of social media.
Now to new fallout this morning from the concert kiss cam that went viral. The woman in the video resigning.
Action. I think if they just paused, it may not have even gotten back to their loved ones. But this like dive bombing out of the shot.
It's down the CEO of the company a few days ago. Both are married to other people. The video of them trying to hide their faces when they realized they were on camera.
The kind of fire.
Might not have gotten out if a concert goer wasn't videotaping.
Well,
with
no,
their
or
cell phone
honestly, if
camera.
they hadn't reacted the way they did, no one would care.
Of HR, and despite pretty intense public interest and scrutiny, neither Cabot nor Byron have spoken publicly about this incident, but it just doesn't seem to be going anywhere.
No.
I think it's the ubiquity of cameras now. You know, everything can be caught on
A
camera.
week after she was caught cuddling on camera with her boss at a Coldplay concert near Boston, Andy Byron, seen in that video as well, stepped
The United States at the time weighed in on it because people love to be mad when people are caught cheating. We just relate to it. It's just something that like
caught on camera moment that went viral has now cost a CEO his job.
Camera. There really is no legally expectation of privacy in a public forum like that. But I think it's the combination.
Has now stepped down. Everybody's talking about the story. Will Gans is here with more on this.
Everyone's talking.
you're watching the whole game and the updates and the things they do. So like, know where you're standing. I think
The company Astronomer says that Andy Byron spotted on a kiss cam at a Coldplay concert.
say, you know, my heart goes out to the children and the partners of these people who are having to watch this all play out. But the bigger thing people are—
There's trouble in paradise.
That's what you wear. The other thing I want to mention is, like, she was smoother with it than he was. She kind of did a little thing.
Though, is the kiss cam moment seen millions of times online. 2 Coldplay concert goers caught canoodling during the show.
Talk to that so perfectly. Like, talk about, I don't even think he knew what he was doing, but that quick, he's like, you're either shy or having an affair.
Yeah.
Perfect.
About it, and they weren't even suspended from wires hanging from the roof of the stadium.
No.
Completely different issue. This
person to a concert.
side piece.
You're, well, I don't know if she's just, you know what? There's so much that.
Either they're living in a fair or they're just very shy.
Bring society together. And finally, I do think that it involves a CEO and HR professional. Like, the definition of her job is to be like
at Gillette Stadium in Massachusetts. In case you haven't seen it somehow, here's the video that seemed to start all.
the part of people that they're looking at these 2 individuals and obviously not wanting the damning part for the family, because I do.
Saying in a statement, our leaders are expected to set the standard in both conduct and accountability, and recently that standard was not met. Andy Byron.
That's actually a good one.
That would have been much better.
Or just step away.
Yes.
Because, you know, standing behind somebody, you're watching.
An affair, and while neither party has offered a statement of their own, the company where the man allegedly works says he has resigned. Astronomer.
The original sin was funny. then the memes are funny. I feel guilty.
Has tendered his resignation and the board of directors has accepted. Now, that has not stopped social media from having fun with the now.
Been seen 77 million times. Yeah. 77
and I've seen
million
it,
times.
And I'm 7 million of those.
Yes,
77.
right,
I mean,
right.
I cannot stop.
The Phillies spoofing the moment during a game on Friday night.
The whole, like, the cover-up ends up being as bad as the crime.
Yeah.
But also, cheating is as old as time. People have done it. But there is a thing, society loves to be mad.
The company's board of directors accepted that resignation today, saying that it will begin the search for a replacement.
And then suddenly, your behind is out.
Insanely viral moment. There are memes and videos all over the internet. The Philadelphia
Coldplay concert in Boston last week became one of the weekend's hottest topics thanks to...
In a statement released on the company's LinkedIn page, it says this, that astronomers committed to the values and culture.
But it's bigger than just the prevalence of cameras. Anytime you're in a concert venue or a game, there are jumbotrons. Like,
that have guided us since our founding. Our leaders are expected to set the...
These are the people that's supposed to implement company policy. There's a power dynamic. There's a question of, like,
sometimes you can't.
Standard in both conduct and accountability, and recently that standard was not met.
By the way, don't do workplace romance. Like, that's one of her top things she's charged with. And he should be the main person knowing better than to date a subordinate.
This really has captured.
The kiss cam moment at a Coldplay concert went viral across the globe. Now, we've now learned that the technology company Astronomer has announced that its CEO, Andy Byron,
Martin stated, and warning concert goers, they could be on camera.
I just want to start this evening with some breaking news. We're just hearing that the tech company
company's board of directors is also having a formal investigation into this. And then Coldplay frontman Chris...
Board of directors, and they have accepted. The board will begin a search for our next...
Yeah. The fact that, I mean, I read articles in, like, India, from, like, Indian newspapers about this, the memes that this...
Chief Executive as co-founder and Chief Product Officer Pete DeJoy continue...
Of the lack of privacy, all the cameras are around, and the fact that on social media, everything gets amplified. I mean,
to serve as interim CEO. And this is following on from Andy Byron being caught on camera.
Astronomer, his name is Andy Byron. He tendered his resignation.
The Chief Executive, Andy Byron, has tendered his resignation to the board of directors.
I think the reason people are keen to jump on this is infidelity is as old as time itself. And I think there's...
Gillette Stadium in Massachusetts, packed with 70,000 people, everyone singing along to their favorite songs. The kiss cam starts making its rounds through the crowd, landing on couples sharing sweet moments. But then it stopped on two people who looked like they'd rather be anywhere else on Earth. Meet Andy Byron, CEO of a tech company called Astronomer. And sitting right beside him was Kristin Cabot, his chief people officer. Here's what made this moment so incredibly awkward. They're both married, but not to each other. And ladies, we all know that look when something's not right. Chris Martin himself noticed something was off. The Coldplay frontman actually stopped mid-song to comment from the stage, saying, either they're having an affair, or they're just very shy. The crowd laughed, but Andy and Kristin, they looked mortified. They reluctantly gave each other the most awkward peck you've ever seen. But the damage was already done. Within hours, this clip was everywhere. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, millions of views overnight. But here's what made this different from your typical viral moment. People weren't just sharing it for laughs, they were investigating. Because when you're a CEO caught in a compromising position with your employee, the internet becomes your personal detective agency. The first clue came from Andy's wife, Megan Byron. The moment this video started circulating, and I mean the literal moment, Megan went nuclear in the most strategic way possible. She scrubbed his last name from every single social media account she had. Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, gone. Byron? She didn't know any Byron. But here's why Megan's response was absolutely genius. While most of us would want to scream and post angry messages, she chose the power move that every divorce attorney would applaud. She went completely silent. No angry posts, no public statements, no dramatic confrontations, just radio silence. And sometimes, ladies, silence is the most powerful weapon you can wield. She documented everything, protected her legal position, and let him hang himself in public. The internet absolutely loved her for this. Her old Instagram posts were flooded with comments from complete strangers, calling her a queen, a hero, telling her she deserved so much better. She became the people's champion without uttering a single word. Meanwhile, Andy was getting dragged through the mud online, with people dissecting every detail of his life, his company, and his relationship with Kristin. The internet didn't just make them famous, they made them unemployable. In the age of Google, their names will forever be linked to this scandal. But wait, because it gets so much messier. Kristin wasn't just any coworker having an office romance. She had recently married Andrew Cabot, CEO of Private Ear Rum, and heir to serious old New England money. We're talking generational wealth, historic family name, the kind of people who have streets named after their ancestors. They had just purchased their dream home together, a stunning $2.2 million property in Rye, New Hampshire. Picture perfect marriage, beautiful home, bright future ahead of them, or so Andrew thought. Because within 48 hours of this video going viral, sources started whispering that Andrew had contacted some of Boston's most expensive divorce attorneys. 48 hours. That's barely enough time to process what happened, let alone make life-altering legal decisions. Ladies, this story highlights every red flag we should never ignore. Working late with the same colleague, unexplained concert tickets, defensive behavior about work relationships. How many of us have had that gut feeling about our partner and a coworker? How many have felt that instinct that something wasn't quite right, but couldn't put our finger on it? Andy and Kristin became symbols of every wife's worst nightmare. The idea that the person you trust most might be betraying you right under your nose, with someone you probably know and have met at company parties. Trust that gut feeling, because it's usually right. The corporate fallout was swift and brutal. Andy Byron resigned from Astronomer almost immediately, probably hoping to contain the damage. But Kristin's situation was more complicated. She was placed on administrative leave, but didn't resign, raising questions about complex legal issues and employment contracts that made walking away difficult. Employees at Astronomer were asking uncomfortable questions, and the company was scrambling to manage a PR nightmare while trying to figure out what to do with their chief people officer, who had become the center of a viral cheating scandal. The public reaction was visceral, because this tapped into something deeper than just gossip. People were frustrated with powerful individuals who seem to live by different rules, who think they can get away with anything because of their status or wealth. Here were two executives, supposedly pillars of their community, caught in the most public way possible, violating the most basic promise you can make to another person. Sports mascots started recreating the infamous kiss cam moment during games. Someone started selling t-shirts with their faces on them. TikTok creators made parody videos. The whole thing became a cultural phenomenon. But what really struck a nerve was how personal this story felt. But beyond the memes and viral videos, real human lives were being shattered. Megan Byron had to wake up every morning knowing her marriage was over and that millions of people had watched it happen in real time. Andrew Cabot had to question everything he thought he knew about the woman he'd just married. This became a mirror for our modern world, where privacy doesn't exist anymore, where a single moment can be captured and dissected by millions, where your worst day becomes someone else's entertainment. It raised uncomfortable questions about accountability and what happens when private failures become public spectacle. What made this scandal so compelling wasn't just the drama, or the wealth, or the corporate intrigue. It was the very human story at the center. The wife who handled betrayal with grace and strength. The husband who discovered his new marriage might be built on lies. The executives who forgot that actions have consequences, especially when you're in the public eye. Sports mascots started recreating the infamous kiss cam moment during games. Someone started selling t-shirts with their faces on them. TikTok creators made parody videos. The whole thing became a cultural phenomenon. But what really struck a nerve was how personal this story felt. But beyond the memes and viral videos, real human lives were being shattered. Megan Byron had to wake up every morning knowing her marriage was over and that millions of people had watched it happen in real time. Andrew Cabot had to question everything he thought he knew about the woman he'd just married. This became a mirror for our modern world, where privacy doesn't exist anymore, where a single moment can be captured and dissected by millions, where your worst day becomes someone else's entertainment. It raised uncomfortable questions about accountability and what happens when private failures become public spectacle. What made this scandal so compelling wasn't just the drama, or the wealth, or the corporate intrigue. It was the very human story at the center. the wife who handled betrayal with grace and strength. The husband who discovered his new marriage might be built on lies. The executives who forgot that actions have consequences, especially when you're in the public eye.